Hello and welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. I'm James and I'm excited about this one. Benji, how you doing, mate?
Good. Ready to talk about Delhi Capitals in this podcast?
Excellent. Zach, how are you doing, mate?
I'm doing awesome. I really enjoyed the auction. I thought Delhi did a very good job because, I don't know, Ricky Ponting, he knows his stuff. He knows who he wants. And I think one of the things about this auction is what's been clear to me is that teams have clear strategies going in. Like, I don't think there's any, we've said this quite a lot, I don't think there's a single squad that we would say is really weak. Like, they've all got strengths. And I think going in, like a player, I don't know, like Shardul Thakur, who's been bought up by Delhi Capitals, lots of teams will want him, but Delhi have decided, okay, he's one of the ones who we're just going to keep pushing and pushing until we get him. And I think that's the same with all teams. Overall, their squad, to me, has one of the best balances. Like, they've got really good top order batsmen. They've got some class all-rounders. So, for example, Axar Patel. And they've got a really solid all-round bowling lineup. I think picking up Mustafiza Rahman, he could have a good tournament if they play him, I guess. He'll partner Anrik Nortje quite well, I think. So yeah, they've just got really good players. They've even got Kuldeep Yadav, who's a decent leggy. So yeah,
My dark horse for the season, I think.
Kuldeep Yadav.
I think he could do really well.
Left arm wrist spinner, obviously, Kuldeep Yadav.
Yeah. I agree. I think DC's got a really balanced squad. I think they're up there with one of the most terrifying top four. David Warner, Prithvi Shaw, Mitch Marsh, and Rishabh Pant. Like, that's
Do you think
really
about
good.
Mitch Marsh at 3?
Sorry?
Do you think about Mitch Marsh at 3?
Yeah, that's where he's done the best over the last sort of couple of years. He's really established himself as a number 3. So
that's interesting then, because they're really going away from their classic Delhi Capitals mould, where they have a really good Indian top 4 and then have some overseas hitters. Do you think that'll affect them this year, or do you think they've still got a good balance there, James?
Right. So I think they've got a really good balance because let's say they're opening with David Warner and Prithvi Shaw. So the power play is going to be brutal. They've got Mitch Marsh to come in at 3. And I think over the last sort of couple of years, when batting at 3, he's had a strike rate of like 140, 150. Wow. And he's got a good average as well. They've got Rishabh Pant, who he speaks for himself. You know, he's absolute innovation and brutal destruction. And then they've got someone like maybe Mandeep Singh in at 5. Rovman Powell. Rovman Powell is likely to come in at 6, who then he balances the side because he can bowl a bit of right arm medium fast if we want him to. And then Axar Patel at 7. You've got Shardul Thakur at 8, the Lord. Kuldeep Yadav, Anrik Nortje, and maybe like Chetan Sakaria, the young guy from Rajasthan last season.
I think Kuldeep Yadav was a really good buy as well, wasn't he?
I think that's a really balanced side. I don't think there are any glaring holes in that 11. I think
I reckon there might be a different I reckon there might be a slightly different 11. I think you might see KS Barrett coming in at number 3, because he was filling that spot towards the end of last season for RCB, and even though he won't be keeping because Pant will be there, I think we might see KS Barrett take that spot, and then 4 be Pant and 5 be Mitch Marsh, and then 6 your Rovman Powell. So almost do it that way, and then you have to fill your bowlers. The only thing is then is you have, with having Mitch Marsh, Rovman Powell and David Warner in your top 6, it only leaves a space for one overseas out-and-out bowler. So I think they could be a bit fluid with that, because they'll want to fit in Anrik Nortje and Mustafiza Rahman, I think, in their starting 11. They'll want both of them. Like, they spend that much money on Nortje, that I think they'll want both of them in that squad. So yeah, it'll be a very interesting year for DC. I think they have lost a few. They've lost Shreyas Iyer, who was obviously their real core player, one of their real core players. I think he was really important for them last year. I don't know. I think DC are just missing a bit of something. They've got a very good team, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But I think they're just missing a bit of something.
The intangible factor.
They're missing spin, really. Well, they're not missing spin because they've got Axel Patel and Kuldeep Yadav, and those two will probably play every single game. The issue there, though, is who's the replacement? Let's say Kuldeep Yadav doesn't have a good season. Let's say Axel Patel gets smacked all over the place. There isn't that element of mystery there anymore, because there isn't, like, yes, Axel Patel's good. Yes, Kuldeep Yadav's good, but they're not as consistent as some players. Like, they're not like a Yuzvendra Chahal. They're not like, I don't know, just trying to think of spinners. Ashwin,
Ravi Bishnoi.
Ravi Bishnoi, right? These players who, you know, every season they're going to average low, they're going to take wickets, and they're going to have an economy rate of about 6.5. Axel Patel potentially doesn't pick up a lot of wickets. Kuldeep Yadav hasn't done that well in the last few seasons. So I think that's the one weakness, is the spin. Will their spinners impress, and will their spinners do well? I haven't looked at any of the younger players because they've got some players I've not really heard of. Like, I'm not sure. Ripal Patel, for example. Yeah, is he a leg spinner? I'm not sure.
Ripal Patel's 26.
Right arm, medium, fast.
Ripal Patel's 26. You're thinking of Yash Dul, who was the captain, I think. Yash Dul was the captain of the under-19s team. And they also had, they've also got Vicky Osterwald. I'm just seeing if he played as well.
Yeah, Osterwald played. I think
so I think Yash Dul and Vicky Osterwald are
he's more of a bowler.
Two, and definitely, yeah, they are both bowlers. Vicky Osterwald, yeah, he was the left arm orthodox, and Yash was an all-rounder who bowled a bit of off spin. I think he captained them actually in the under-19s World Cup. So yeah, they've definitely got a little bit of summit going on for them, I think. That was awful. I'm never going to say that again. I need to get rid of that.
Staying in there, don't you?
It's going to stay in, isn't it? But
yeah.
Oh, there is.
sad, isn't it?
I've just had a look. Praveen Dubey is a 28-year-old. Played 22 2020 matches, 20 wickets, economy of 7.13. He's a leg break googly bowler, so he might get a few games.
I also think, just thinking now, like, so two of their like bowlers that are going to have to bowl 4 overs every game, Kuldeep Yadav and Anrit Nortje. Anrit Nortje coming back from a hip injury, is it? And Kuldeep Yadav coming back from quite a severe bit of knee surgery. So, you know, do they have the replacements there, you know, in case those guys can't last the whole season? I'm not sure. So, yeah, there are some very small question marks, I'd say, over Delhi. But overall, a contender. I think we would expect to see them in the playoffs, most likely. I'm sure we'll do a ranking video or something like that, maybe in the last of this series. But yeah, tell us what you guys think. Please leave comments down below. What is the best Delhi starting 11 and what is their weakness?
And who had the best auction? That would be a good one.
All right, that as well. And any other comments you want to leave. So yeah, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the flippity flip.